Hey, Silverpaw here, and today I'm reading more of those 3 words, chapter 4 this time, so if you'd like to read along, I'll link you to that, and I'll also link you to Eraser Rain, the amazing author of this story, so let's get this started. Tails hurried downstairs, ripping his coat from the hook it hung from. He tugged it around him, zipping it up tightly. He turned towards the door, stopping in his tracks when he heard someone calling him. He turned around to see his mother smiling at him from the kitchen. "Hey, Mom," he said quickly, desperate to hurry out and go see Sonic. "Where are you going in such a hurry?" she asked. No idea how impatient and agitated she was making her son by asking this simple question. "I'm going over to see Sonic," Tails said, gripping the door handle impatiently. He shuffled his feet awkwardly, wishing he could just go, but of course his mother wouldn't let him do that until she knew everything about why he was going. "Did you two make up again?" "Yeah, but Sonic's kinda waiting for me, and, I knew you'd make up, Tails. Nothing could separate you two, could it?" "Well, no. I'll bet you never fall out again, right?" Tails smiled properly this time. "Yeah, I think we're gonna be closer than ever from now on." He blushed, quickly regretting saying it in case it gave too much away. He hurried out the door, mentally punching himself for being so obvious. Then he smiled again, a full smile from ear to ear at the thought of seeing Sonic again. He couldn't be bothered to walk all the way down the path and around the bush and up Sonic's driveway and all the way back up their path. He jumped right over the brick hedge, running up the rest of the path and knocking on Sonic's front door. Sonic opened it almost straight away as if he'd been waiting for the fox. He looked over at Tails' shoulder anxiously, his eyes darting around. He stepped aside to let Tails in, but closed the door slowly. "Upstairs," he muttered to Tails. The fox blinked, his face blank. "Go!" Sonic hissed. Tails frowned about to protest, before realizing that Sonic might possibly have in mind. He hurried upstairs, not looking back down at Sonic in case he got mad at him again. The kitsune continued up until he reached the top, then ran into Sonic's room. Sonic himself arrived more slowly. He was rubbing the back of his neck, his eyes not meeting Tails. The hedgehog turned, closing the door quietly behind him. He sighed, closing his eyes and leaning his forehead on the door. "Sonic?" Tails whispered quietly. Either Sonic didn't hear him, or he pretended not to, because he remained like that at the door for several minutes before turning around to finally face Tails. Sonic walked over to the bed, sitting on the opposite end to Tails. The kitsune crawled over, sitting next to him impatiently, waiting for something. Sonic sat again, turning his head towards Tails. He was beginning to say something when Tails lost patience and leaned forwards. Sonic held his hands up, laying them gently on Tails' chest to stop him. "Tails, wait!" Tails' face fell. He instantly felt tears brimming in his eyes. You don't really like me, do you?" "What? Tails, come on!" Sonic's hands remained on Tails' chest. He could feel his soft heartbeat pulsing gently against his fingertips. It was so hard not to kiss Tails. Sonic hated having to be the sensible one, who pointed out all the bad points and refused to do unsensible things. Tails was undoubtedly the naive one, the younger one, the clueless one. He just wanted to rush into things without thinking. Sonic wanted to do that too, but if both of them did, it wouldn't turn out all right. Fate would pull them into impossible situations where they'd be faced with difficult choices, forced to... Sonic shook his head, knowing he was thinking trash, but unable to stop himself. He sighed for a third time in 5 minutes. "Look, Tails, you know that's not true, and you have no idea how much I want us to be able to, well, be together," and he paused, staring down at the floor as if asking it for help. We need to talk about this, Tails. I wish we could just, but we can't," and it was no good. He was breaking down in front of Tails. He'd always stayed strong through everything, and they'd ever been through, when they were young, and a little older, and then in their teenage years. Tails was always the one who gave up easily, who needed help and encouragement, but now the tables had turned. Tails slowly moved closer towards Sonic, cautious in case he was snapped at again, but Sonic didn't protest. He let Tails wrap his arms around him and snuggle happily into his middle. Sonic immediately calmed, laying a hand on Tails' shoulder. "We should really talk about this, Tails." "I know," Tails mumbled, nuzzling his head a little more. "But I know that what we have to talk about will be about everyone hating us." Sonic squeezed Tails gently to reassure him. "Tails, there's no point in trying to deny anything. Everyone will hate us, and if they find out that we're together, then..." He trailed off, not wanting to be the one that said it. Tails sniffed, tears spilling. Sonic didn't need to say it. "I don't want to be killed because of this, Sonic," he whispered, sobbing. Sonic pulled him up, hugging him tightly to his chest. He attempted to calm down the kitsune and subside his sobs. Surprisingly, even Sonic's embrace couldn't stop Tails from crying. "Tails," he whispered softly, "please don't cry. I'm sorry for even mentioning it. But we can't tell anyone, can we?" Sonic swallowed hard. He knew he couldn't tell Tails what he wanted to hear. If he did, he'd be lying, and he'd never dream of lying to Tails, even when they were just friends. Sonic? Sonic the Hedgehog. If anyone found out he were gay, then he'd lose his entire cool, laid-back reputation. No one would look up to him or respect him like they did now. He knew for a fact that most girls at school were crazy about him, even some of the ones that had boyfriends. He didn't want to lose all that. And what about his parents? Not even they'd take his side. But Tails was the most important thing in the world to him, even more important than his parents. He didn't want to lose his best friend, and now his love. Sonic, please say anything. We can't tell anyone, Tails. We're on our own. There was a horrible silence as it really started sinking in. They were on their own, no matter what. There was no one for them to turn to. Tails sniffed. But you'll stay with me, won't you, Sonic? I mean, I won't be left on my own, right? Sonic shook his head, hugging Tails tightly. No, I've always taken your side before, and I will now. No matter what happens? Yeah, I promise. Tails smiled, snuggling into Sonic happily. His tails wrapped around the hedgehog's middle, as if he were scared he would just walk away. Sonic's hands continued to stroke Tails' head gently. You should go home, Sonic said after a while. I don't want to go home, Tails insisted. I want to stay here with you. Sonic chuckled. Your parents are going to be wondering where you've gone. No, they won't. Mom knows I'm here, and Dad's not going to be home for hours. I want to stay with you, he repeated firmly. His voice sounded oddly desperate, and he clung to Sonic tighter, obviously not wanting to leave. Sonic shifted into a more comfortable position, which meant having to lie down on his back, with Tails lying beside him, half sprawled across his chest. Sonic smiled, leaning down slightly to quickly kiss Tails. The kitsune blinked in surprise, but whined in protest as Sonic pulled away, nuzzling into him in objection. Come on, Sonic, he whispered. Sonic rolled his eyes, but let Tails return the favor. After a while, Tails broke away, a mixture of questioning and lust in his eyes. Sonic, are we ever going to, go further than this? He saw the look in Sonic's eyes. No, the kid said hurriedly. I don't mean that far. It's just... He sighed, not knowing himself what he meant. You mean like this? Sonic smiled, pulling Tails into a deeper kiss. He didn't know how he got it exactly right or where he learned it from. He just did what felt nice, what felt right, and Tails followed along. They eventually parted, Tails' eyes wide, staring up in awe at Sonic. Where did you learn that? He gasped. Sonic grinned sheepishly. I don't know, I just sorta, did it. Tails' brow furrowed in suspicion. You've never had a girlfriend before, unless you didn't tell me. Sonic laughed, holding Tails' face in his hand and looking right into his azure blue eyes. Tails, stop freaking out. I just learned how to do it right now. I've never, ever been with anyone before. And I don't want one. I want you. To prove it, he did the same again. Soon, Tails was pulled on top of Sonic and they lay together, not doing anything but kissing. They were so involved with each other that they didn't hear the front door downstairs open. They didn't hear their names being called. They didn't hear the footsteps coming up the stairs. Sonic, Tails, you home? Both teenagers sprang apart, Sonic hissing several swear words under his breath. His mother entered the room slowly. Oh, you're home, she said cheerily. Tails, your mother's getting worried about you. Oh, I guess I should go home, the fox mumbled, hurrying over to the door. He was stopped by Sonic's mother. She peered at him suspiciously. Are you okay, Tails? Your face is a little red. Sonic quickly said something about it being hot, and Tails silently thanked him. See you tomorrow, Tails, Sonic asked hopefully. Yeah, I guess I'll see ya, the kid answered, turning out of the room and running home. Well, that was Chapter 4. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later when I do Chapter 5. Thanks for watching. Peace out.